Today we're trying to cut through some of the digital noise. We want to explore how technology can, truly amplify learning, not just accessorize it. In a world just awash with information, how do we integrate tech to genuinely boost efficiency in instruction? How do we use it to help us get to the core of what we really need to know? So our mission for this deep dive is to unpack what efficient technology integration actually means in an instructional setting. We're going to dive into the core principles, look at some practical applications, and this is where we take a really interesting turn. We'll draw a surprising, but I think deeply relevant parallel from a field that seems completely unrelated at first glance.
And for this journey, yeah, we're pulling from a pretty rich stack of sources. We've got some foundational texts on educational technologies, ones laying out definitions, frameworks, benefits. But then, like you said, we pivot. We look at technology's really transformative role in modern art conservation and cultural heritage preservation. These sources, they might seem disparate, but they offer remarkably rich insights into these universal principles of effective tech use that, well, they really transcend disciplines.
All right, so let's start there. When we talk about technology integration in education, it's clearly not just about, putting more iPads in classrooms, right? What's the real core distinction here?
Precisely. Yeah, that's the fundamental point. At its core, it's about the effective use of technology, how it enhances teaching and learning. It needs to be a seamless incorporation of tools specifically to support the curriculum and, crucially, to improve outcomes. The absolute key, the foundational principle, has to be that technology integration is pedagogy first.
Pedagogy first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. It means the tools support the learning objectives. They don't dictate them.
Yeah.
It's all about leveraging technology to make the learning experience richer, more effective, not just adopting tech for tech's sake.
So when that pedagogy first principle is missed, what are the immediate dangers? I mean, is it just about wasted tech budgets, or does it actually lead to, worse learning outcomes?
Oh, it can absolutely lead to worse outcomes, yeah.
Yeah.
When technology is just an add-on, or worse, a distraction, it often fragments attention. It can superficialize learning, or sometimes it just digitizes old, maybe ineffective practices, which doesn't help anyone.
Right. Just doing the same old thing, but on a screen.
Exactly. But when it's truly effective, when it's integrated thoughtfully, it transforms learning. It aligns with specific goals, promotes student-centered experiences. It fosters active participation and problem solving. And this means encouraging real-world applications of knowledge using tech, ensuring it's accessible for all learners, carefully scaffolding its use to build independence, and critically, continuously evaluating its actual impact. Are we seeing better learning? That's the question.
Fascinating. So for you, the learner listening, what are the tangible benefits when technology is integrated with that kind of thoughtfulness? What are the big wins?
Oh, the wins are significant. You definitely see increased engagement, motivation. Interactive and multimedia resources can really bring abstract concepts to life. It also enables a powerful personalization. I mean, truly differentiated instruction tailored to individual needs. The lesson adapts to you rather than you having to fit the lesson.
That's huge.
It is. And collaboration gets profoundly enhanced. Think shared documents, discussion forums. It breaks down the physical classroom walls. You also gain expanded access to just incredibly diverse educational content and expertise from literally around the globe. And perhaps most critically, it helps develop those essential 21st century skills: critical thinking, digital literacy, problem solving. Skills that are just indispensable today. Oh, and plus, for educators, it can streamline some administrative tasks, which frees them up to focus more on the actual teaching.
That all sounds incredibly powerful in theory. But what's the biggest hurdle you see for schools and teachers trying to actually achieve this pedagogy-first integration in reality? It sounds complex.
It can definitely feel overwhelming. Absolutely. And that's why structured approaches are so vital. Our sources highlight the technology integration planning model as a really powerful framework for this. It starts with assessing needs. So identifying specific learning gaps or challenges where technology can genuinely make a difference. Then you define clear, measurable learning objectives based on those needs. Only then do you choose the tools, selecting the appropriate tech based on its relevance and usability for those specific objectives.
Not just picking the shiniest new app.
Exactly not. The next crucial steps involve designing engaging activities where the technology isn't just present, but it's central to the learning. Then implementing those activities with proper support. And finally, rigorously evaluating the effectiveness and making adjustments. It has to be a continuous cycle, you see, not just a one-off event.
Right, and I think many teachers, maybe understandably, think tech integration is just about knowing how to use the latest app. But this TPACK idea fundamentally shifts that, doesn't it? It shows us that true transformation isn't really about the tool itself, but how it intersects with what you teach and how you teach it.
Absolutely, you've hit the nail on the head. That's exactly where the TPACK framework, technological, pedagogical content knowledge, comes in. It fundamentally argues that effective integration isn't just about knowing technology or knowing your subject or knowing how to teach. It's about the synergy, the interplay of all three. So you have your core content knowledge, that deep understanding of your subject, then pedagogical knowledge, your mastery of teaching strategies, and technological knowledge, simply how to use the tools themselves.
Okay, the three pillars.
Right. But the real insight, the truly transformative power, comes from the intersections of those pillars. Think about technological pedagogical knowledge, or TPK, that's how technology changes how you teach, or pedagogical content knowledge, PCK, the best ways to teach specific content. And technological content knowledge, TCK, how tech can represent specific content or make it more accessible. When all three of those core knowledge areas truly integrate, when they overlap effectively, that's TPACK. And that's when you really start to see profound shifts in learning outcomes.
So if we connect this to the bigger picture then, these models aren't just sitting in academic papers, they genuinely guide practical lesson planning. Can you walk us through maybe a real-world example? How does this look on the ground?
They absolutely do guide practice, or they should. The technology integration lesson planning process basically outlines this clearly. First, identify your learning objectives. What do you want students to know or be able to do? Then, choose the appropriate technology, let's say simulation software, for a science experiment. Next, design engaging activities where that technology is integral. It's not an add-on. It's key to achieving the learning goals. Prepare your resources, teach the lesson, integrating the tech naturally. Assess the learning. How do you know they got it? And finally, really importantly, reflect and revise for next time.
Makes sense, like that cycle you mentioned earlier?
Exactly. So take a science lesson on the water cycle. The objectives might be for students to understand evaporation, condensation, precipitation. Instead of just reading a textbook chapter, they could use an interactive simulation. They can manipulate variables like temperature, humidity, see immediate changes in the virtual water cycle.
Oh, okay, much more hands-on.
Right. For assessment, maybe they submit a worksheet explaining their observations, maybe even include screenshots from their simulations to back it up. The follow-up discussion then focuses on how that simulation helped them visualize these, abstract concepts that can be really hard to grasp just from reading or a lecture. That's TPACK in action, the technology, the pedagogy, the content, all woven together effectively.
Okay, now let's take that slight detour we hinted at. It might seem completely unrelated at first, but bear with us because it offers these incredible insights into how technology transforms any field when it's integrated thoughtfully. We're talking about modern art restoration. I mean, what was once primarily meticulous handwork has become this incredibly sophisticated discipline. They're using cutting-edge digital imaging, scientific analysis, innovative materials. It's really quite something. Dr. Maria Rodriguez, who's head of conservation at the Met, puts it this way. Technology has completely transformed our understanding of artwork, allowing us to see beyond the surface and make more informed decisions about restoration.
And what's truly striking here when you dig into it is how parallel the goals are to education. Things like precision, preserving integrity, understanding the underlying content or the original intent. Think about advanced imaging techniques, multispectral imaging, for instance. It's like having digital X-ray vision. Conservators can see layers, pigments, underdrawings completely invisible to the naked eye. Yeah. And infrared reflectography, famously used during the restoration of Vermeer's Girl Reading a Letter at an Open Window. It actually revealed a hidden painting of Cupid on the back wall.
No way!
Yes. Completely changed our understanding of Vermeer's original composition. It's all about revealing hidden information. Much like good educational tech can reveal new pathways to understanding complex topics. And then there's laser technology for cleaning. It offers just unprecedented precision, removing dirt almost molecule by molecule without damaging the original surfaces. Dr. James Wilson notes its incredible value, especially for delicate stone sculptures. This kind of precise, non-invasive intervention, it feels analogous to how educational tech can target specific learning gaps without disrupting the whole learning process.
And it gets even more tangible with things like 3D printing, right? I mean, it's not just for making prototypes anymore.
Exactly. No, 3D printing has opened up truly remarkable possibilities in restoration. Conservators can create precisely fitted replacements for missing fragments in sculptures, for instance. Or, really interestingly, facilitate handling objects for visitors who previously couldn't touch them. We saw this beautifully with the Palmyra Arch of Triumph replica project after its destruction.
Right. That was amazing.
And the British Museum has an extensive program creating tactile replicas. It drastically enhances accessibility for visually impaired visitors. As museum technologist Sarah Jenkins observes, 3D printing doesn't just help us fix what's broken, it democratizes access to cultural heritage. And that democratization, that directly parallels how educational tech can make learning accessible and engaging for diverse learners. And it's actually not just about physical intervention either. Technology allows for virtual restoration too.
Virtual. How does that work?
Well, these are digital techniques. They offer non-interventive approaches. So you can create digital visualizations of how artworks might have appeared when they were newly created without touching the original at all. There was the repainted project for Dürer's The Four Apostles at the Alte Pinakothek in Munich. They created this stunning digital visualization showing its original vibrant colors, allowing comparison without physically altering the very fragile original painting.
That's incredible. So you can see the past without risking the present.
Precisely. And augmented reality, AR, is being used in exhibition spaces too, like at the National Gallery in London, where visitors can use their smartphones to view digital reconstructions superimposed over the originals right there in the gallery. Digital conservator Dr. Emmett Chen explains it well. Digital restoration gives us the freedom to explore possibilities without compromising the historical integrity of the original.
This level of precision, this depth of understanding, it's just astounding. So what does this all tell us about the crucial balance between the technology and the human expertise? It really seems like this incredible tech is enhancing, but definitely not replacing the conservator's skilled hand and, maybe more importantly, their trained eye.
That's the crucial insight. Yes. Technology amplifies human capability. It doesn't diminish it. It empowers the expert. James Holman, a senior paintings conservator, puts it perfectly. Technology gives us extraordinary new capabilities, but it doesn't replace the conservator's eye and hand. And you see this in major projects. Think of Operation Night Watch for Rembrandt's masterpiece at the Rijksmuseum, a massive undertaking using the most advanced tech. Or the incredibly complex 22-year restoration of Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper. Both are prime examples of integrating cutting-edge technology with highly skilled human hands and a deep, nuanced understanding of the artwork's history and materials. The tech provides data, new methods, new possibilities, but it's the human expert who makes the critical judgment calls, applies the nuanced skill, and understands the all-important aesthetic and historical context.
Okay, so let's bring it all back then. Back to our focus on efficient technology integration in instruction. What can we as learners, as educators, truly take from this deep dive into art restoration and apply directly to the classroom, to our own learning?
Well, if we really connect this to the bigger picture, we see these universal principles emerge. And they're remarkably consistent across these very different fields. First off, technology is an enabler, not a replacement. That's crystal clear. Just as technology doesn't replace the conservator's expertise and their trained judgment.
Right.
In education, it enhances the teacher's pedagogy and the student's learning. It absolutely does not and should not replace the vital human connection or the educator's wisdom and guidance. Second, there's that profound drive for precision and informed decision-making. Think about how material analysis informs restoration decisions with incredible accuracy. Similarly, data from educational technology, when used well, can provide really granular insights. It can inform teaching strategies, allowing for highly personalized learning and targeted support exactly where a student needs it most.
That's a really powerful parallel. Instead of these broad strokes, we're talking about almost microscopic adjustments to the learning path based on real data.
Exactly. It allows for that level of refinement. Third, we clearly see a focus on enhancing accessibility and engagement. The British Museum's tactile replicas, the AR applications in galleries, they show how tech can make complex content much more accessible and genuinely engaging for more people. This is a direct parallel to how educational technology can profoundly benefit students in the classroom, bringing content to life and breaking down barriers for diverse learners. Fourth, both fields emphasize preservation and longevity. In art conservation, technology helps preserve priceless masterpieces for future generations. In education, technology helps develop those critical 21st century skills. Skills crucial for students' future success, ensuring their learning is relevant, adaptable, and truly lasting in our rapidly changing world.
And finally, that sort of overarching principle we started with right at the beginning.
Right. The pedagogy first, conservator's eye principle. It comes back to this. Both fields fundamentally emphasize that the human expert, the educator or the conservator, must drive the application of technology, not the other way around. The tool serves the goal. It's a powerful instrument, yes, but it's in the hand of a skilled professional, ensuring that the learning is meaningful and effective, just as the restoration is precise and respectful of the original artwork.
It's really fascinating how those core ideas, purpose, precision, and the absolutely irreplaceable role of human expertise remain so central no matter the field you look at. So we've seen today that integrating technology effectively isn't just about adopting the latest gadget or software. It's really about thoughtful, intentional application. It requires clear objectives and a deep understanding of why and how these powerful tools can serve our goals. Whether that goal is preserving a priceless Vermeer or truly elevating how we teach and how we learn, something like the water cycle.
Yeah, I think what we've uncovered is that whether you're meticulously restoring a masterpiece or you're designing an innovative lesson plan, technology, when it's used with real intention and that pedagogy-first mindset, it dramatically expands what's possible. It can reduce risks, and it helps ensure that knowledge and cultural heritage alike can be understood, accessed, and enjoyed for generations to come.
So think about this as we wrap up. If technology allows conservators to virtually reconstruct an artwork from 500 years ago, revealing its hidden layers, its original vibrancy, without ever having to physically touch the original, what untapped possibilities exist for you? How could you use technology to create dynamic, personalized learning experiences that uncover hidden layers of understanding in your own learning, or perhaps in your teaching without overwhelming the learner? How might you use technology to reveal what's truly below the surface?